All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be touching on the top core plays here for week 2. Let's go and get into it. And so, guys, I want to talk about this slate in general here, but I want to also call out this cheat sheet that I have available now for 9 to 5 members on the website here. So if you guys go to the More tab, click on the NFL cheat sheet. That'll give you access to the sheet. I'll give you guys the depth chart and depth breakdown of each team's depth chart, give you guys the game lines as well if you guys want to see kind of maybe some injury reports, kind of what sportsbooks are thinking for that game as well specifically. Then we have the NFL DFS tab as well as the stocks tab if you guys are looking at kind of maybe which team has the best stacking opportunities, we can look at that. And then we also have the ownership leverage tab, so maybe looking at, all right, which players are the highest owned and which players are the lowest owned that shouldn't be. I'll show you guys that real quickly. So Daniel Jones is the top leverage play on the slate. I don't think that's too shocking. Not many people are going to want to be on him that much given his game last week, but I kind of like that, showing you guys that. And then the NFL DFS tab, this will just be a simplified view of just who the top plays are. To the top plays, Cooper Kupp and also CeeDee Lamb. So looking at that, but I wanted to show you guys which plays are going to be the best values. Yeah, Daniel Jones is popping up in there. Hayden Hurst is popping up in there. Great. Really what I want to look at, though, for this is actually just looking at the running back and receiver position. I think we want to build out first there. So looking at this, guys, James Conner's really popping up in there. A little bit shocking to me. Jordan Mason is going to be chalk, as he should be. I think that's chalk we're happy to eat, actually. The player I'm a little bit surprised that isn't chalk, that I do think could be a pivot off of Jordan Mason, is Zach Charm, where he's going to be in for a heavy workload. Now, it is going to be against the New England defense that's good, but kind of interesting to look at. So the data really likes James Conner again, Derrick Henry in a plus matchup against Vegas, where they are favored to win by 8.5 points. That does make sense. Don't mind that. Then let's just take a quick peek at receiver, and then I'll give you guys my core plays. So naturally, the data does like DeMarcus Robinson. My biggest question on the week, if you guys watched the first look build, was, all right, will the data like Tyler Johnson more? Will it like DeMarcus Robinson more? It does like DeMarcus Robinson more, so we probably should just be looking at him. If you guys are kind of looking at that first look build again, he'd be the one we would want to go with. From there, Cooper Kupp popping up as one of the best values in general, but also just the best plays. He's going to be kind of an obvious, I would say, core play for us today. CeeDee Lamb's going to be a play that I want to get to as well here. And that kind of sums it up. Like, Jalen Naylor is definitely a little bit too cheap at his price tag, 3.9 for a guy that should be in for a bigger workload today. Like, he's a good value. But now let's go ahead and get into the core plays. So let's start at running back, guys. To me, this really hasn't changed too much from the start of the week. Now, Breece Hall is getting a lot of attention. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Maybe it's because he had a nice high floor. He's going against the Titans. You know, they should win that game. I get that. At the same time, if I could pay slightly more for Jonathan Taylor in basically the same matchup, not the same matchup in a great matchup for him, I would rather do that. They both played a lot of snaps. Jonathan Taylor probably should have got a target or two in that game. I felt like the way they used JT was a mistake, so I'm kind of valuing him as a core play. My overall takeaway from that, from Breece Hall being chalk, is I'm probably just not trying to get to either of them. I'm maybe just getting away from that zone and then just going with someone like Kyren Williams, who played 90% of the snaps again last week, gets a slightly better matchup going against Arizona, and he should be just more involved in the offense given the fact that Puka Nacua is going to be out again. So I have been treating him as a core play, but really the two starting points in terms of pricing that allows you to fit in other studs are going to be Zach Charm, who, again, with Kenneth Walker sitting at doubtful, he's just going to get a heavy workload. Now, I do think running back Kenny McIntosh is going to be someone that can be involved. This matchup with New England isn't great, but we should see him involved in the passing game. Like, this should create a nice floor. He's someone that should be able to 2x at the very least, and he just allows you to fit in some of those receiver studs that we're going to want to. And then Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason is going to be extreme chalk. We all know that. It's a matchup against Minnesota that kind of, who cares? And, you know, if the Niners were able to do that against the Jets, you would imagine Jordan Mason will be able to have another good game this week. And so I think we're happy to do that. Should be in for a heavy workload. And so I really like the idea of going those two value running backs. Now, I still love Josh Jacobs on the slate as well. Josh Jacobs gets a great matchup. I'm happy to get there with him. But at the same time, you have James Conner there at a soft price tag as well. So those two are, like, they're not core plays, but they're two players I would love to get to as well if I can. From there, receiver-wise, it's pretty simple. You're going CeeDee Lamb. You're going Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's just in a smash spot. Feel very happy about that. The data's telling us to go DeMarcus Robinson, probably as one of the better values. So let's just do that. Let's not overthink that. And then for quarterback, I have just been going with Anthony Richardson because we can easily fit him into our builds. This will set you guys up very well today. If you guys want the final thoughts of kind of my final build and kind of a safe build, I will be posting that on the 9 to 5 write-up basically right after this is posted. So if you guys click on the More tab and then go to NFL write-ups, that'll be posted there. This was last week's write-up here, in which I gave you guys the safe and easy cash build. Again, right after this video is posted, I'm going to record that video and finish that write-up there for you guys. So that's going to be all for this video. I guess real quickly, I'll show you guys the lineup builder, what that's telling us. And so here we go. We're gonna let's try 2 builds actually here. Let's do a total ownership build of 100. And actually, guys, I just tried the setting of 150 for total ownership percent. Let's see here. Jordan Mason, Breece Hall, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson, Hayden Hurst. Actually, I don't hate this. This is actually a pretty good safe build there. Chargers D. If I could get to the Steelers D, I would rather do that, but not a terrible build there as well. All right, so that's interesting. I mean, if you guys want to use that, by all means, go for that. Like, you probably should be playing these cash builds. But see what the kind of the 9-to-5 lineup builder is spinning out to us as the most optimal build. I will tell you, it will have Daniel Jones in it, so kind of look with one eye there. But let's just see. And so what the lineup builder is telling us is the most optimal build. And if you guys hate it, that's perfectly fine. I get it. I'm not doing tight ends. We're not doing tight ends. We're going to change that. So we're going to go settings, flex and eligible tight end. Don't want a tight end in any sort of build in the flex. And so here we go. That's better. So it does really like James Conner again this week. It liked James Conner a ton last week. Daniel Jones, Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins. I don't like J.K. Dobbins. I don't know if I agree with that. Malik Neighbors. I kind of get it at the same time. I don't want to get there. I want to show you guys one other thing here. So let's just lock in some players. So CeeDee Lamb, Kupp, and then Mason. I do think we should be playing Mason. So I'm hitting the lock button on those 3, and I just kind of want to see what the data then spits out to us as the optimal build. And so a little bit better. Daniel Jones, Derrick Henry, Jordan Mason, Lamb, Godwin. Interesting, Godwin. Kupp. Oh, yeah. So this is better. This is good. I like this build too. Solid. Chargers D. Happy to do that. That works. All right, but that's going to be all for this video. Again, if you guys want access to any of those tools, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to them for $10 a month. Make sure to give a like and subscribe on the channel, guys. Good luck with your week 2 builds. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing.